Hello. Today I'm talking with Jordan Sand from Coldwater Technologies and CEO and founder of Happy Scratch. Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jenny.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm happy to be here.
Great, great. So tell us a little bit about Coldwater Technologies.
Well, Coldwater Technology started about 3 years ago. It's based off of a technology that I developed while I was a postdoc at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. At that time, we were looking for higher value uses of material out of the slaughter industry. So I was working in animal sciences. We were trying to build a new meat sciences building. And so we were trying to find new uses for low value products. And one of the ones we came across was what ended up being Happy Scratch. So to back up a little bit, what we've found is that a lot of not only humans, but pets have immune deficiencies. And we actually found that we could correct an immune deficiency by using some of these products from the slaughter industry. What we do is we extract it from there, we dry it down, and it makes a great tasting powder. We take that powder, you apply it to the pet's food, they no longer itch anymore. So we feel like we have a great technology here to really help out a lot of pets, because that is the number one reason that you take your dog to the veterinarian is because they're itchy. It's in the top 10 reasons for why you take your cat to the veterinarian. So we think we've really got a great product here.
Oh, that's wonderful. So your website mostly features dogs. Is it effective for cats as well?
It is very effective for cats as well. In fact, you can go on to Amazon in some of our reviews, and there's a video of a cat that had been picky and very itchy, and it ate it right up and really seemed to enjoy it. So the feedback we've had from our customers has been great.
I had a friend who had a cat who was essentially scratching themselves to the point that they bled, and she had to make a little jacket for it with Velcro to keep it from scratching. And she would love to learn about this product.
Yeah, we're really trying to get the word out here. As I said, we have really high adoption rates from people who just try it. We're a subscriber-based system. You can either order it from our website or order it from Amazon. It'll get delivered to you monthly, and it's just these little 1-gram packets, which I don't have sitting here, unfortunately. You just open it up, sprinkle it on the food. You don't have to change the food you're feeding your pet, and typically they eat it right up.
So that's great. Tell me about the journey from being a scientist and seeing how your scientific discovery could be applied to this product. How did you go from that to manufacturing and the e-commerce side of it? What did that entail?
Well, first of all, this is my second startup. The first company I started was called AB Discovery. So I was there for about 8 years. It was focused on farm animals and on getting rid of antibiotics and animal feed. I worked there for 8 years. Over time, it was time for me to move on. And this was another patent that hadn't been licensed up from UW-Madison. So I went out and talked to the patenting arm, which is called the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation, or WARF. It's actually a private entity. And I ended up getting exclusive license to both pets and animal agriculture, because there are some applications there as well with this technology. Then I went out, assembled a team. A co-founder of mine is a veterinarian. We found, her name is Maria Dashik. We went out and found a financial person, because I can't say I'm particularly skilled in that area. And then I went through my network of people that I've known for a long time and found funding. Our first round was from a small fund called the Winnow Fund here, based out of Madison, Wisconsin. They gave us the startup capital to get going. From there, we built out our own manufacturing here in the facility. So I do all my own manufacturing. We take everything from the buckets of the intestines all the way to the dry powder and put it into the 1-gram packets here. You're looking at the guy that does it mostly. We do have a part-time worker that does come in, but for the most part, I'm the one smelling of pig a lot. So that journey was long. It's been difficult. The e-commerce side has been surprisingly difficult to break through. There are a lot of products in this area, and to try and break through on that level is a challenge for us. Really, the closing of the sale has been the most challenging for us. It's not hard for us to get people to come to our website or to visit us on Amazon. It's really tough to get them to click through and give it a try. Which is kind of disappointing for us, because, as I said, 40% of people who try it become subscribers. It really helps their animals. We just got to get them over that final hurdle to to purchasing.
Are you selling through veterinarians?
So the surprising part about veterinarians, or maybe not surprising, is that when they hear the term nutraceutical, they don't associate that with a highly scientific, well-researched product. It is difficult for us to get them on the scientific end to take a meeting with us. And it's also difficult because the pharmaceutical drugs that exist out there, they put a fairly significant markup on it. And the markup that they put on the drugs that they sell to their customers is more than our product costs. So they would have to sell so much more of ours in order to get back the amount of money that they would be making from the drugs themselves that I'm not sure we're a great fit.
That's a really complicated problem.
It's not easy.
So that sounds like you've already hit an inflection point, but is there an inflection point, a key moment where you had a breakthrough that got you through a particular point in your evolution?
Well, we're always looking to expand our sales, and we're exploring all options, including becoming part of somebody else's diets. It may just be inevitable that that's where we go. That's okay with me. This particular patent sat on the shelf for 7 or 8 years as we tried to sell it to these ingredient folks, and they weren't interested. But now that we've built a brand and showed them that people like it, that level of de-risking we've given them really does help us out quite a bit. So we're in talks with a number of different folks to start that process, and maybe we'll have to pivot and go that direction, which is fine as long as it gets out. My whole philosophy on science is a little bit different from a lot of the PhDs you'll run into, because I always thought that no matter how great your science was, no matter how amazing all of the things you can do in a lab are, if someone can't buy it, how can you make a difference? And so taking this trek and going about commercializing this so people have a way to buy it is something I feel I have to do. You know, to make it much more meaningful than, I know this is true. Yes, we patented it, but ultimately, until you can get this product in your hand, it doesn't really matter.
Right. And then getting the word out. And today there's just so much noise and so much advertising. And so are you doing things like Instagram Reels and TikTok? And
so we've done Instagram Reels, we've done TikTok, we've done, some of our greatest feedback was on Facebook, especially, our demographics tended to be women above the age of 50. The problem was that we couldn't get them over the line to purchase it. It's been very difficult for us to break through in a meaningful way, which is why we're exploring, all of the options that we can. Right.
So from a technology perspective, what are you using, or are you using anything aside from, like, on your website, you can purchase the product? Any other technologies that you use in your manufacturing process? Or
there's a lot I would love to. I would love to be able to automate most of this, of course. Fortunately, we're doing Jordan 1.0 right here to lift and do a lot of stuff. As we grow and get to a much larger size or much higher volumes, almost all of this will be automated. It'll have to be.
Right.
When you start moving through 5, 10, 12,000 pounds of material a week, no one person could ever do that. And it will take quite a bit of machinery and automation to make that work.
What lessons have you learned, maybe the hard way, about balancing innovation with the day-to-day demands of running the business?
Yeah, innovation and getting people to change what they've always done is hard. It's very hard to get people to try something new, especially when you're going up against established technologies or established brands. And it has been an expensive lesson, as they always are. But we feel like it's such a good product and we're filling such a big need that inevitably people are going to use us. Once we get them to try it, once we get them to use it, inevitably they'll keep coming back.
What advice would you give somebody in starting a company, as you have, that maybe has the rose-colored glasses on I want to be an entrepreneur and I have this great product?
Yeah, you have to be incredibly optimistic and you have to be incredibly determined. I hear no's from people that I ask for funding every day, all day long. If you aren't ready to be told no repeatedly by probably everyone then you're probably not ready to do this. You have to have very thick skin and you just have to keep going. Like, there is no roadmap for it. Not really. That's why it's a new product. You're unsure how it's going to fit into the ecosystem that exists. Give yourself as much optionality as possible. I know that's a little buzzwordy, but okay, for us, we're going direct to consumer, but hey, maybe we want to be an ingredient for somebody else. Or maybe we fit in a different spot. Maybe we go back and there's some animal agriculture applications for this. Maybe that's our fit. But keeping all of that open so that as you pursue them, more opportunities are going to open up for you. And that will allow for more funding, and that will allow for more sales. It's going to take time, and you're going to be mad. You're going to be frustrated and angry, inevitably, and just don't let it eat you up.
Right.
Don't let
and be ready to pivot. What you're saying is you have to be agile enough to pivot and take the direction that's going to help your product move to the next level. You can't fall in love with what you thought the path was going to be.
No, it'd be great if I knew everything, but it never works out that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've run into that. You started a few companies by yourself. I'm sure it didn't all work out the way you thought it would.
Absolutely. I
mean, this isn't even my first rodeo, so you kind of get used to it. But the only time that I must say that I ever really get angry is when we're so close. It's right to the point where they're going to sign off on some deal, and then people back out when it's time to write a check. That's the only time it really bothers me. Being told no, okay, I'm not for you. But getting into deep discussions, like maybe with a strategic partner or maybe with an investor, and hey, we really love it. We think it's great. Now it's time for the rubber to meet the road. And then suddenly they get cold feet and back out. That's the times when it really gets to me.
And especially when you've made an investment of time and disclosure and all that, and you're moving down the path, and then
right. We've been doing this for 6 months or a year, and it's to the point where, hey, it's really time. We need an investment from you of some sort, whether it's a binding contract or money or what have you. And that's when they don't want to do it. It's really hard. It's hard to stay positive on those days.
Well, this has been an interesting conversation. I think your product is definitely, there's a need for it. I know so many people with dogs and cats that have this sort of itching problem. So I certainly wish you all the success with your product and with, really breaking through and getting it out there so that people can take advantage of the value that you've created here.
Yeah, find us at happyscratch.com or put Happy Scratch into the search bar at Amazon and you can find us. Please feel free to buy some, review us, let me know what you think. I think we're at about 4.2 stars on Amazon, so that's pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're very happy with where we're at. We just need to get you and 1,000 of your friends to purchase some.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jordan. Again, wish you all the luck in the world, and hopefully we'll talk again soon.
Excellent. Thank you, Jenny.